Let me ask you a question. If you were going to try to remove a president from office, which of these two processes do you think would be easier to accomplish that goal? Let me lay out the first and then the second. Tell me which way do you think would be easier to get rid of a president? Okay, so first way, a majority vote in the House of Representatives and then a 2/3 vote in the Senate. That's it. So if you could get a majority vote in Congress and then 2/3 vote in the Senate, you could get rid of the president. That's it. Bada bing, bada boom, done. He's gone. Or the second process, where you need the vice president and a majority of the cabinet to write a letter to Congress and say, this person is, for whatever reason, incapable of exercising the office of the president, and therefore we think the vice president should become acting president because there's something wrong with this guy. So that's step one. You need the vice president and a majority of the cabinet. Then, in addition to that, you need a 2/3 vote in the House of Representatives and a 2/3 vote in the Senate in order to strip the president of his authority. He would still be president. He doesn't actually technically get removed from office, but he would be stripped of his power and the vice president gets to be acting president. Which of those two scenarios do you think would be easier? A majority vote in the House and 2/3 in the Senate, or vice president and a majority of the cabinet and a 2/3 vote in the House and a 2/3 vote in the Senate? I ask you this question because I see people all over the place now, because Donald Trump is obviously unhinged. He clearly should not be president. He's dramatically unwell. And so I'm seeing a lot of people starting to say that the 25th Amendment should be used to remove Trump from office. Now, the first method I described to you, just a simple majority vote in the House and a 2/3 vote in the Senate, that's the impeachment process. And people tell me, because I've been telling people from the beginning, you need to come to grip with reality. You need to accept reality and deal with it. The only way to remove a president from office, the only legal way to remove a president from office, is the impeachment process. That's it. But because we've tried it twice and it didn't work, somehow, for some reason, people say, no, that could never work. That's impossible. Let's remove him with the 25th Amendment. Well, the 25th Amendment is that second process that I explained to you. The vice president and a majority of the cabinet and 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate. That's like a hell of a lot harder than the impeachment process. But because the impeachment process didn't work, people say, well, we should do the 25th Amendment. Are you people out of your fucking minds? Because impeachment was too hard, we should try this impossibly harder process? Which, by the way, even if you're successful, it doesn't remove him from office. It just temporarily strips him of his authority and has the vice president become acting president. And then we will have to fight forever till the end of the term about whether Trump has regained his capacity to be president, because he would still be president. People need to deal with reality, is what I'm saying here. Stop trying to find some other way to remove a president from office besides impeachment, because you've already given up on impeachment, so you're looking for some other way. There is no other way. That's it. And the 25th Amendment certainly isn't another way. Okay? That is way harder. So can we stop with the nonsense? I understand People desperately looking for some way. You're not going to find some sort of magic, invisible ink, part of the Constitution that no one has seen yet. Okay? Or some fanciful interpretation of the Constitution that there's really some other way to... No, there's not. Impeachment is it. And yes, I know it seems next to impossible. If that's next to impossible, then tell me, what is the 25th Amendment? If the impeachment process is next to impossible, which it seems like it is. But I've said this before, I'll say it again, and you need to understand it and accept it and believe it. Donald Trump can and will be impeached and removed from office if and when, hopefully when, but if members of Congress are more afraid of the people than they are of Donald Trump. If they become more afraid of us than they are of him, then they will do it. But right now, they're far more afraid of him than they are of us. So if you want Congress to impeach him, then make them afraid not to.